Hi everyone, today we will talk about localization and the new way of generating comments. I will do the localization with Claude Code using the Opus 4 model, and before I start I want to have the localization from the beginning itself, and then I will tell you the reasons why I want localization in the first place. So let's go and create a new file from the template. The file name is string catalog, and then I will add it to both the targets, the widget extension as well. And then I will build my project so that it builds all the keys that I have in the project that needs to be localized. And one really cool thing that we got this year is that now it can use the on-device model to generate the comments. You have seen that on it has already started generating the comments, and I have a lot of keys that it has to generate the comments for. So the reason, as soon as I started when I added the localization file and it started the comment, is that if I go to Xcode and then settings, and under the editing section, you see that there's a new section this year called as automatically generate string catalog comments, and it says that it will analyze the surrounding code, like maybe in that given file, and then it will generate a comment. Having a comment is very important, especially when you're localizing for different languages that requires the grammar structure and the sentence formation. And one thing that you have to note is that it requires the new Xcode. It requires the Xcode predictive code completion model that is on device. So if I go to the components, you will see that I have the predictive code completion model of 2.53 GB in my app. So let's see a few comments to see how are they managing it. So new. New is a word. If you have to give this localization file to an expert, they have no idea what does new in capital letters mean. This is where it mentions that it is a label indicating that a record is new, and I think I can click on it and see the jump to resource to understand where it is actually coming from. And I see this is under the personal record section, which makes sense. So we go back, and I see it has generated a lot of comments for me, and I'll see how many are remaining, so I will know how much more I have to yap. I have a lot of time to yap. So let's see some more comments. So a label inside for current, like as an expert, if you're an expert, you do not have any idea what this current comment or key means. So it's a label that displays the medium streak widget to indicate the current streak. This is helpful for both the translation expert, if you're going the route of giving the translation file to an expert, as well as if you are somebody like me who is okay having the first draft by AI or different large language models, and then giving that draft to your friends who are okay just going through it and letting you know like which one is not is just too bad. So they do not have to start from scratch, and they have a because they have an idea on how to work from it, because the models that we have right now are really good with translations. So as I mentioned, there are two reasons why I feel localization is important, was important for me. So the first reason is a non-professional reason. Last year I won the Shipaton challenge for my app called as Meshing. It is a mesh gradient app, and I did the translations maybe mid of the challenge. I don't remember. I have to go back and see my YouTube videos where I have that particular video on localization, but I think I added it not in the beginning itself, and I localized it for many languages. One of the key languages was Japanese, because I have a Japanese friend. Shout out to Yuki, who helped me for a few of the keywords that I had worked with Sonnet 3.5 at that time. And when I went on stage to get my award, and then I attended the App Growth Annual Conference by Revenue Cat, I also got to attend a conference called as App Growth Summit. it is a marketing conference, and there I met a Japanese woman, and then I showed her my app. Like, if you have ever changed the localization on your app, you know that it would restart and your whole app is in the whole system, or the system screen is in your whole iPhone is in Japanese. So I had to somehow navigate and show her my app, and she was very happy that all of them were kind of correct, and it made me very happy as well. So that is the reason when I add localization now in any of my app, Japanese is the first one that I do. And Japan is such a beautiful country that I would want to learn more of Japanese words, and having some localizations is, I don't think it's a way, but it just makes me happy that my apps can also be used by Japanese people or people who speak Japanese. So that is the non-professional reason. The professional reason is that I worked with an AI startup, and I was working on marketing and growth. And one of the key things that I was looking for was in specific user group, and how I can improve or get more users from particular countries like China, like Korea and Japan. And what I realized that making the app itself localize in that language would really help, because I have been to Korea and Japan now, and I know that they prefer. I have seen a lot of people using their iPhones with in Korean and in Japanese. So that was the thing. What I did was I started with Sonnet 3.7. I did all the localization, and these localizations, because Sonnet 3.7 has an output of 64,000 tokens, it was able to do the localizations. And then after doing the localization, I passed the whole localization file to OpenAI O3 model to cross verify them with comments. And at that time we did not have these comments. It would have made my life much easier, but that was my initial process. And I saw that by adding simplified Chinese, Korean and Japanese, and later on traditional Chinese, it really helped grow the user base and added a lot of thousands of MRR to the revenue as well from these particular regions and countries. So this is a battle tested way of understanding that, okay, localization actually works. And because I do not have much keys I do have a lot of keys, and I should have done it from the beginning itself, but it's never too late. So now I'm going to do all the keys. And what I will do next is that right now I will do it manually with Claude Code, but from next time I will add a rule that whenever Claude Code works on a new feature, it should look at the new keys that it added after building the project, and goes and updates the localizable.exe string for those keywords and for those languages. In the beginning, I will start with Japanese, as I've mentioned. Then I will add Korean, simplified Chinese, French, Spanish, German, and also traditional Chinese, because I think these are the major languages I would target for an AI app. I do not have any data to back why I do want all of these languages, but I feel that it covers a lot of the majority of languages that are spoken out there in the world and are used on iPhones and different apps. So I'm still waiting for all the comments to go down so that I can start doing the process of exporting the localization. Not even exporting, I would just go to Claude Code and say that I have added a localizable file. Please start adding the localized keys for the given language. I will start with Japanese to show you, and then I will add the languages later on, the ones that I mentioned. So let's see how many comments that we have. So my MacBook right now I can hear the fans. It is pretty hot right now, and I have a M1 Pro MacBook. If you have an M4 Max or M3 Ultra, these comments will be way faster for you. So M1 Pro is kind of a baseline to know that if this will, like, if you have a better machine, it won't be this slow. So while it is doing it, we will just look at some more localized things that we have, like refresh data, view all, a button label to view all AI insights. So it is just not view all, it is AI insights. So this will help build the localized key for Japanese Korean, so and use the appropriate word, because we all can be for AI, it can use the word AI as well, so it gives more reference to the user who is using it. And let's see, how many more do we have? We still have a lot more, I think maybe 10 or 15 more. So what else can I yap about when it comes to localization? I also prefer to have the simplified Chinese localization as well. A very similar reason to the Japanese one. I won't give the whole story why, but I just prefer to do that as well. And let's see what else we have when it comes to the keys. I'm not sure why it is not adding comments to these ones. It should. Should I just manually click and generate comment? I think that should work. Maybe it is just buggy as of now. So I'll just go and click comments on manually on all of these. And I'm not sure why there's one day in capital and one day in plural, capitalized and one is not, and it's been used a lot of times. There's days as well. So all of these, it's a mistake on my side, because this days, it should be day and then day as plural, because there is somewhere, or you can kind of vary it, refactor it, change key, or there is some way to vary by plural. There's this option here. So let's see if I can go back to the days one and try to fix it. So we have the day streaks, vary by plural. For some reason it is commented out. I don't know why. Maybe if you're watching and you have better idea, then you can let me know. Oops, what happened? Unable to get a comment. Provided 2075 tokens. Because I exceeded the length of the token. So the model can only do 2048. And now I am bugged. My whole machine is, it does not work. Yeah, now it started working. Okay. Comments can still be added. Okay. Let's see how many it did not add. So we still have a huge chunk of it. I will see if I can just take these, tell this, and then say generate comments, because now it has started generating comments. So now it can start a new process of generating the comments. Nope, it does not like me at all. I have no idea why it would not generate the comments for these. It's a bug, and I should create a feedback for that, but we never know if it will be fixed or not. Okay, it's not doing it. So now what I will do is create the Japanese translations, and you see that it is at 0%. It also has the key, the default one, and the Japanese one with the comments. Most of them have the comments. So now I will go to where is Claude Code? I have it in cursor. Yes. So please go through the localizable. I think I should be able to do it. Yes. And translate the Japanese keys. And we wait for it to do its magic. So it has started going through the file, and it says 953 lines. I had cleared out the history, but for some reason it still have it. I have no idea why. So you can see I just do not even use the git command. It just say create a new branch for localization and comment out merge main branch, checkout main branch. I do not use the git commands because I just don't. I could have spent the time on just writing the commands myself, but I'm so lazy and I'm vibe terminaling, if that's even a word. It says that I don't see any Japanese translation in the file. It appears that it is English only. To add. Okay, I think let's see what's the problem. I will try to build it first. Yeah, so that it is updated. I'll say please, or interrupt it, and please try again, just in case if that's the reason for that. I don't know if you can hear the fan. I have never seen the fan. The last time I heard the fan this loud is when I'm exporting a 4K video. So the on-device model really takes a lot of the GPU energy. So now it says that I will add the Japanese translation. I will use the to-do right tool to plan this task, which is only one to do. I will now add Japanese translation. Since there are many strings, I will use the multi-edit tool to add Japanese localization efficiently. Very nice. It will take a bit of a time, so we still have some time to ramble about. Let's see what else I have learned about uh, localization. So one knowledge that I can share is that I saw this talk back in the app growth annual conference. It was by a Japanese person and a Korean. I think both of them were Japanese and they were living in Korea, and they gave a talk on how these two markets are distinguished. So if you are targeting for these markets, make sure that you also target the keywords, the SEO keywords for this market, because you will usually find because people in these countries are using their traditional keyboard to search on the app store. So you will have to or how to even put it that way, you will have to optimize the SEO for these particular countries, and you have much more advantage because when it's counting the characters, you can add more characters to your SEO keywords when you're doing it on App Store Connect. That is one point. The second point is that you should, if you're really serious about targeting Japanese and Korean market, go through the top apps in your category for these the top apps in the top apps in the category where you're targeting your app, and then go through the screenshots, because the screenshots are way different from what I have seen in the Japanese market and the ones in the Korean market. They had shown a whole slideshow. I have a copy of the slideshow. I don't think I can share it with you or show it to you, but the difference are really stark. It's way different from the screenshot I have seen on the American store. You have to focus a lot on showing big numbers and say number one or something. So that was really a culture shock for me when I saw those screenshots. So that is one thing that you have to keep in mind. So you can see that it has started doing the Japanese translations for me. It has already done a lot of them for me. And let's see how many more are left. So but due to the large number of strings, I will create a more efficient way. Let me create a script to all. So now it is now creating a whole script in itself to add the localization files. So if I go back to Xcode, let's see. So you can see that it has done 16% of it, like these ones. So if I click and sort the Japanese ones, you see that, oh, there it has done like check streak, calm and mindful. I have no idea if they're correct or not. If you are a Japanese person, arigatou gozaimashita, please help me out. I would always do another check with O3 model because I trust that model pretty much. And there's also a new model called as Kimi K2, which I have been loving a lot because it's much more natural to use, and it feels like the OG OpenAI without all the new emojis that they have been putting out in the new models. So I've been really liking that model. So I will see if I can put those the localization file directly in that, because when I'm releasing my app, I have to make sure that the localizations are correct. What I've learned from my past experience is that I started using this service called as Strings Catalog. It is a really nice service, but when I got an option and I saw so many languages, what I did was I clicked on each of the 42 languages that it supported, and I had a huge file of 42 languages that were 100% done. But I had kind of no idea if they were wrong or right. And when people, I think I gave my app to my Swedish friends, and they're like, okay, this is not what it means, what you have in your app. I'm like, okay, I don't know where to even start fixing from because I have so many languages that I'm supporting. So this is the reason I started just trimming out to some major languages. And even when I'm doing the Japanese one, I will focus on Japanese, make sure that it passes the vibe check on O3 model, and then subsequently add the different languages. Because what I feel is that it is better to have the whole app in English versus with incorrect translation, because it is kind of misleading the user, who will feel that what the word means in Japanese is correct, but in English it completely means something else. So that is what I have learned. And where is it? So it is taking its time to do the localization, and I will not let you. I am kind of getting impatient, so I will let Claude Code do its thing while I will go and export this video for you all to watch. I hope you learned something from this video, and you will also localize your app for whatever professional and non-professional reasons. So with that, thank you and have a great day.